The mid to late 1970s was a heyday for minor supergroups comprised of members who had been on the fringes of rock fame. I'm thinking of Boxer, Bandit, Rough Diamond, Aviator, heck, UK. And one American English combination of musicians was the band Detective that put out two albums on Swan Song, the Led Zeppelin label, in 1977. Fronted by veteran rock vocalist Michael Des Barres, who had been in Silverhead earlier in the decade, and featuring the guitar work of Michael Monarch, formerly of Steppenwolf, and ex-Yes keyboardist Tony Kaye. And from their first album, the self-titled, the track Nightingale. I believe that if Rod Stewart heard this track, he would have been quite envious.
Sleep, my baby, through the dark night that comes, listen to the nightingale, sad song that comes to ease my pain tonight, every night.
Michael Des Barres is an underrated vocalist. When given good material, he can really deliver. Like he's got he's got both kind of an angelic sort of flow in his tone, and he's also got that grit. Yeah.
Sleep, my baby, till the Lord tells me it's time to go. Sneak in from your window, from a ladder waiting to take me to the ground below, so far below. I know
He is addressing his loved one from the metaphor of being like a nightingale.
yeah, oh, that always wasn't right. But they tell me opportunity comes just a once in your life.
They tell me opportunity comes just once in your life, and I think that he's trying to he's trying to give her confidence that he will be back, despite what he intends on doing.
With a tear that wide open, I thought the time was right. So I filled up my pockets with everything in sight.
I filled up my pockets with everything in sight.
Oh, my baby, it's time to go down to where the Gulf streams flow.
It's time to go down where the Gulf streams flow.
Let you know I'll be safe from the law. After me and the money I stole.
But I'll be safe from the law after all the money I've stole. Yeah, that's the telling line where I think he's promising his loved one that he'll be back to get her, that he'll get away with the crime that he's about to commit, and that they'll run away and be all set.
Long ago. Oh, my darling, I won't ask you to wait. Just please, please hesitate. Your kisses, your loving, your warm embrace, till I pass through the garden gate.
I won't ask you to wait until I pass through the garden gate.
Through the garden gate.
I love how the guitar work has been so nuanced throughout this piece. I mean, first we had that kind of classical, vaguely like kind of almost Spanish elements at the beginning. Like bringing kind of like a classical like complex take, like harmonic acoustic take on the theme. Then we have his vocal emphasizing the melody during the verses, and then we have this like lyrical, like sustained electric leads coming in that that are picking up on that vocal melody and doing an instrumental version of it, and with some bends and sustains, and now we're about to go into the more, I guess the action's about to take place, and the narrator is about to well, the protagonist is about to uh, carry out his plan. There's a melancholy to this. He's assuring his loved one. He's saying, "I love you." I think that she doesn't think he's gonna come through. She thinks he's gonna get caught. I'm coming back home where I belong. He's assuring her that he's gonna get away with it. I don't know if he believes himself. That is a great change of key center. Some tonal areas that we haven't heard throughout the rest of the song. Bar chords. Power chords right here, going in like G, then C. Some suspended thirds here and there to give that suspension, that suspension release. Now he's really belting it out. Michael Desbarres, really has that balance between between crooner and belter. Like, whereas a lot of singers are either one or the other, he's both. I mean, we've heard quite a bit of range over the course of the song. From the tenderness in the early part to the more aggressive stance he's taking now. I cannot say with 100% confidence that I get the plot of that song, because I was hearing him say some lines about shackles and chains. So I'm not sure if he's about to commit a crime or if he already committed a crime, was incarcerated, but has a plan to break free from prison, that he's confident about. And that he's going to meet his lover somewhere, and they're going to just go out on the lam. He's going to go on the lam with her, meet up with her, and they're going to live off the grid, and be happily ever after. The lyrics, of course, aren't printed anywhere, but yeah, here playing it this closely gave me a newfound appreciation for the guitar work on this. Michael Monarch really displayed quite a bit of range on this track, as did Michael Desbars as a vocalist. And we also heard some, good supportive, like, rhythm section components from bassist Bobby Pickett and drummer John Hyde, neither of whom really seem to have done a lot outside this band. Only 7 credits on Discogs for Bobby Pickett, and the same, and just basically a detective work, no pun intended. Tony Kaye, low in the mix, but just, I guess, kind of giving a slightly, just lending a bit of fullness to it all with his organ work kind of under there. This being the third major stop for Tony Kaye, who had been in Yes from 1968 to 1971, played on their first 3 albums. Yes, Time in a Word, and the Yes album. Left one, and then briefly joined his friend from Yes, Peter Banks, who left after Time in a Word. I guess Tony Kaye left Yes because he really didn't get along with. One of the reasons he left is because he really didn't get along with Peter Banks's replacement in the band, Steve Howe, and he was never officially a member of Flash, but Tony Kaye did play on the first album by Flash, the first of 3 albums by Flash, Peter Banks's post-Yes band. And then Tony Kaye formed Badger with on the second and Badger put out a live Badger in 1973 with a Roger Dean album cover, and were the opening act, I guess, during the Yes Songs concert. And then on the second album, White Lady, Badger were joined by John Lomax, the Liverpool legend Jackie Lomax, the Liverpool R&B rock legend from the early 1960s who had recorded for Apple Records. The band also included David Foster, the other David Foster, the English David Foster, who had been in The Warriors with John Anderson. Interestingly, John Anderson ended up working with both David Fosters. In 1985, he ended up doing vocals on a song for the St. Elmo's Fire soundtrack. Kim Gardner from Ashton Gardner and Dyke was in Badger. Roy Dyke. Badger was kind of a super group. And then Detective, and then later Tony Kaye was in Badfinger for like 1 album, and then he played on the 1980 Singular album by Craig Mirajanian. West Coast AOR classic, A Perfect Fit from 1980. And then let's see, and some other credits. He played on one track on Murray Head's "Say It Ain't So." Someone's Rocking My Dreamboat. And then finally he rejoined Yes for the tour behind 90125. Although I don't believe he played on the album. I believe the keyboard work was. I think it was all done by Trevor Rabin. I'm not sure. I was thinking it may have been done. There may have been some keyboard work done by Eddie Jobson, but no. Eddie Jobson, I guess, was in the video to Owner of the Lonely Heart, but didn't record it. He almost joined, and then that didn't work out. And then they roped in Tony Kaye, who I guess finally ultimately would play on Big Generator. In the 90s, he was still with the band on the Talk album, but I guess there was a rumor that Tony Kaye developed carpal tunnel syndrome one of the worst things that could possibly afflict a keyboardist or any instrumentalist for that matter. And it just kind of was like another, oh, considering like all the how legend has dealt him kind of a shorthand. It was just, oh, unfortunate. Anyway, and Michael Desbars, of course. After this band, he would turn up in Checkered Past with Clem Burke, Nigel Harrison and Nigel Harrison from Blondie, and Steve Jones, ex Sex Pistol, ex professional Steve Jones. And they would do an album, and then he would turn up in the Power Station. He would tour with the Power Station after Robert Palmer left. I guess Robert Palmer didn't actually tour with Power Station at all. He left after the album was recorded. Anyway, Detective, a hard rock supergroup of sorts that put out 2 albums on Swan Song in 1977, and that being, I'll come out and say it right here, the highlight off the first of the 2 albums. The second album has a song that kind of almost tries to recreate its essence in some way. This ballad called Something Beautiful. Yeah, a very similar track. Most of the tracks off that they did though were kind of more in the Bad Company vein. There's a beautiful instrumental on this album too that I might do sometime. Deep Down, yeah, a beautiful number, kind of in the vein of one of the slower tracks off Jeff Beck's Blow by Blow album. I'm thinking the arrangement is similar to Beck's take on We Ended Up as Lovers. Yeah, the Stevie Wonder composition that Cyrita also did a version of. Anyway, this band, their nationality is kind of controversial. I don't believe I didn't include them on the English D directory because overall I kind of just found them a little bit more American in spirit. Let's see here. Did I? Because I think they're a little bit, no, I don't. Oh God. No, I don't have them. My list, my D directory goes Depeche Mode, the Desperate Bicycles, the Deviants. Yeah, right where they would have been in the alphabet, on like page 4 of this. So you would just need to go to the the annotated directory of albums from 1977, which is over 1,600 strong. I believe there is currently 1,675 titles on there, complete with a blurb, written about 10 years ago. And for, heck, more than 1,600 albums from that great year. Mine, for the most part, for red hot tracks and tasty purple. So go and explore that list in the Trimax year by year directory. Just go to that link and scroll down till you get to the 1977 page and explore it at your own leisure. 1977, a year that could provide you with years and years of musical wonder and discovery. Yeah, it's the kind of year. In fact, you could spend 10 years exploring that one year alone. Yeah. And leave a comment if there's any observations you have about this song that you would like to make, or if you have a different interpretation of the lyrics than I do. And like and subscribe, follow me on social media. And until next time, this is Zaragon, the world's most ear-traveled trimaximalist, signing off.